I spent the majority of my 20s trying to make it as a blogger. And for a good chunk of it, I was pouring a ton of work into it. Researching topics, planning content calendars, redesigning my website, and reading every case study I could find about bloggers who had made it big. And at one point, I became really consistent. I published over 100 articles in 15 months. And I worked every day until I was exhausted, even on weekends. But you know where all that got me? 5 clicks. Not 5,000, not 500. 5. So I remember sitting there many times asking myself, why? Why is nothing happening? I'm working hard, aren't I? Hey there, I'm Paolo. I make videos about confidence, good habits, and making your effort count. Truth is, all that researching and planning and redesigning, that was work. It was tiring, but it wasn't the most important work. The kind of work that would have actually made a big difference would have been to promote my content, to reach out to other bloggers, to build relationships, and to put myself out there, basically. But all of it terrified me, so I just didn't do it. Instead, I spent all my time researching and writing. It felt productive, and it was. But more importantly, it was safe. So I wasn't really lazy, I wasn't working plenty, but I was putting all that effort into the comfortable stuff. So I didn't have to face the really challenging tasks. And you might be doing something similar right now. Maybe you keep tweaking your project instead of shipping it. Maybe you're staying at a job that drains you while never even looking for a better one. Maybe you spend hours planning, researching, and getting ready without ever really starting. It feels like a lot of effort. You are busy, you are working hard, you are tired at the end of the day. But being tired doesn't mean you're definitely moving forward. Sometimes it just means you're really good at being in a state of doing something while never really doing the really important things. And that's the trap. Because we often measure hard work by how tired we feel and how many hours we put in. But those are terrible ways to measure it because they promote quantity over quality. So if it's not about hours or how tired you feel, then what is it? Well, put simply, hard work isn't just effort. It's effort pointed in the right direction. Because you can climb a ladder as fast as you want, but if it's leaning on the wrong wall, it'll just take you to the wrong place faster, which isn't even always a bad thing, if you can then have the strength to see the mistake and start climbing on a new ladder. Also, a tricky thing about hard work is that often the hardest work doesn't even look all that hard. Sending one scary email doesn't look all that impressive, or asking someone for help, or sharing your work, or starting that something that you've been procrastinating for some months. None of that looks like much from the outside. There's no sweat, no all-nighters, no story about how exhausted you are. But that's the stuff that actually moves you forward, because the hard part about hard work isn't the physical effort, it's the fear. So how do you know if you're doing the real work or just keeping yourself busy? One question. Take a look at where most of your effort goes on a daily basis and ask, is this moving me forward? Or am I just avoiding the real challenging stuff that scares me? And if you are, try to figure out what that scary thing is. Then spend the next 30 minutes at least doing it. Not solving it, not perfecting it, just starting it. Of course, this simple exercise won't fix everything right away, but it will help you remember that the goal is to do hard work, not just work that's tiring. Thank you for watching. And to help you do the hard work consistently, I have a free guide on overcoming procrastination, which you can find in the description. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.